Best of Day 4 at the WTA Finals, Gauff back on track in Riyadh. Under the golden dome of Riyadh's King Abdullah Sports City, Day 4 of the WTA Finals carried a certain electricity, the kind that buzzes just before something big happens. The desert heat had softened into a warm evening breeze, and the crowd, vibrant, diverse, and increasingly tennis-savvy, buzzed in anticipation. They had come to see redemption, resilience, and maybe a glimpse of destiny. What they got was Coco Gauff rediscovering her rhythm, her joy, and her fight. The young American, only 21 but already a Grand Slam champion, arrived in Riyadh with expectations towering over her. After a turbulent start to the finals, her serve faltering, her composure tested, Gauff needed a win not just to stay alive in the group, but to reclaim her confidence. And under the bright Riyadh lights, she did just that. From the moment she stepped on court, there was a renewed fire in her eyes. The rhythm of her bouncing on the baseline before each serve, the clenched fist after every hard-won rally, everything about Gauff screamed focus. Facing an opponent known for relentless defense, she chose aggression over hesitation. The forehand that betrayed her in earlier matches found its mark again, painting the corners like a brushstroke of defiance. The match began tightly, both players probing, trading breaks, feeling each other out. But midway through the first set, Gauff's energy changed. She began stepping inside the baseline, dictating play, using her speed not just to defend but to dominate. Her first serve, once shaky, clicked into place, fast, flat, and fearless. Each ace brought a wave of applause from the Riyadh crowd, who had quickly warmed to the American's blend of passion and poise. And then came the moment that defined the night. At 4-3 in the second set, Gauff faced 3 break points. The old nerves threatened to creep in, the ghost of double faults lingering in the shadows. But instead of shrinking, she rose, smashing a 114 miles per hour serve up the tee, followed by 2 forehand winners that left her opponent frozen. The crowd erupted, sensing that this was not just a tennis match, it was a statement. When she closed it out 6-4, 6-3, Gauff's reaction was pure relief and joy. She turned to her box, exhaled deeply, and smiled, a smile that said, "I'm back. I just tried to trust myself again," she said afterward, her voice steady, eyes still alight. "You can't let one bad day define your tournament. I told myself to play fearless tennis tonight, and I did." Indeed, fearless became the word of the evening. For Gauff, it wasn't just about winning a match, it was about reclaiming her narrative. After all, this season has been one of growth. From her stunning US Open victory to the stumbles that followed, she's learned to navigate the shifting sands of expectation. In Riyadh, with the eyes of the tennis world upon her, she reminded everyone why she's the future and the present of the sport. Beyond Gauff's resurgence, Day 4 in Riyadh delivered a kaleidoscope of tennis brilliance. Aryna Sabalenka, fierce as ever, powered through another thrilling encounter, her roar echoing through the arena as if to declare that she's not ready to relinquish her crown. Iga Swiatek, methodical and serene, showcased her signature precision, dissecting her opponent's game with surgical calm. And for the fans in Riyadh, many witnessing live elite women's tennis for the first time, it was a feast of contrasting styles, power and grace, emotion and calculation, artistry and athleticism. But the night belonged to Coco Gauff. The city of Riyadh, a place where tradition meets transformation, seemed to mirror her journey. There was something poetic about her revival happening here, a young woman finding her power in a city embracing a new era of sport and openness. As the crowd chanted her name, she waved, a wide grin lighting her face. For the local fans, Gauff's energy was contagious. Children waved miniature American flags, others wore WTA caps, shouting her name in rhythmic bursts. You could feel it, the connection that tennis sometimes struggles to forge with younger audiences. Gauff's authenticity, her emotional transparency, made her relatable. She wasn't just an athlete, she was a story in motion. Back in the locker room, Gauff reportedly spent a quiet moment alone, headphones in, eyes closed, perhaps reflecting on how far she's come. Just a few years ago, she was a teenager stunning the world at Wimbledon, now she's a seasoned competitor holding her own among the sport's fiercest. Every setback, every double fault, every loss has been a brick in the foundation of something bigger. As the Riyadh night deepened, conversations swirled around the fan zones and cafes outside the stadium. Could this be the spark that propels Gauff to the semifinals? Could she even challenge Sabalenka or Swiatek for the title? The possibilities, suddenly, seemed wide open again. The WTA Finals have always been more than just tennis. They're about momentum, emotion, and timing. One day you're doubting your serve, the next, you're commanding the crowd. Day 4 reminded everyone of that delicate balance, that razor's edge on which champions walk. And for Coco Gauff, walking that edge is becoming second nature. As she left the court, bathed in the glow of victory and the rhythmic cheers of a crowd far from home, she paused and pointed toward a section filled with young fans waving glow sticks. "That's what it's about," she said softly afterward. "Inspiring the next generation, that's what keeps me going." It was the kind of line that could sound rehearsed coming from anyone else. But from Gauff, it felt real, because you could see it in her eyes, hear it in her laughter, feel it in the way she plays the game. Day 4 at the WTA Finals was more than a return to form for Coco Gauff. It was a reaffirmation of her spirit, her talent, and her ability to rise just when the world starts to doubt her. In the heart of Riyadh, under a canopy of desert stars, a champion found her rhythm again. And as the tournament marches on, one thing is certain: Coco Gauff is no longer just back on track. She's back to reminding everyone why tennis is at its best when she's on fire.